I know you Redskins fans are really happy and crowing that quarterback Kirk Cousins is finally doing well, and some of you have chimed in the comments section of my previous videos on Kirk Cousins and RG3 and said that I owe Kirk Cousins an apology. Well, no, I don't. And here's why. I have never said anything bad about Kirk Cousins as a person, so I don't owe him an apology. I have said the situation that was constructed by Mike Shanahan drafting Kirk Cousins in the fourth round in 2012, the same year as RG3 was their first round pick, was based on racism. And I'm going to continue to say that because, by all accounts, in terms of actions, it was. I'm going to reiterate my point. For those of you who don't want to hear it, I don't care. It is fact. Mike Shanahan got RG3. He built a very simplistic style of what he thought the Baylor offense was based on his conversations with Art Browse and his interpretation of them. But all the while, it was something he didn't want to do, and toward the end of the 2012 season, basically tried to run Robert Griffin III into the ground. And Robert was, and I've met and talked to Robert, always willing to do what was asked of Mike Shanahan. But Mike Shanahan has a problem with folks. I'm going to say it straight out from personal experience. My perception of Mike Shanahan was that he has a problem with anyone that's young, black, male, and intelligent who questions him. Robert Griffin III has a playful intellect, a very playful intellect. And there's some coaches in the NFL who are white who have a problem with younger African Americans who are really intelligent. Because, look, we're not talking about coaches that were rocket scientists or knowledgeable in programming or anything else. The Bill Walshes come along almost twice a lifetime, maybe. That's about it. But the bottom line is, you're talking about people who are easily intimidated by those who are intelligent. That's a fact. And so they're going to take out their frustrations in a way that their power allows them to do it. And RG3 was the victim of that by the Redskins. And if you don't like that, that is simply, if you don't like that story is told, too bad. Because that's exactly what's happened. Kirk Cousins is a fine person, RG3's friend, and the two of them have handled this brilliantly. They know what's going on. They really do. The fact is that Mike Shanahan ran RG3 so much that he knew at some point he would break. And he figured, okay, I'm going to break my black guy who can run until he can't run, and then I'll bring in my white guy because he can throw. And basically he had two offenses, and I've said this before. And then when Jay Gruden came in, I had hopes that maybe Jay would handle the situation differently, but he didn't at all. Because he's not of the kind of thinking to install a read option system or understand that. He doesn't want to grow from that. Jay only wants to do what Jay can do or knows how to do, and that's it. So the fact is that RG3 was stuck. Now compare RG3 to Marcus Mariota. Okay? Titans brought in Mariota singularly. And they had Zach Mettenberger, true. But what they did was, when they brought in Mariota, they had an offense designed that didn't call for Mariota to run. But if you analyze the offense the Titans installed, it had run action, such the threat of Mariota running was always there, even though he never did, for the most part. In fact, his biggest runs were ones that weren't planned. So we'll take a look at, here's another favorite of mine, Russell Wilson, quarterback with the Seattle Seahawks. Darrell Bevell has designed in run options within the passes that were installed in the Seahawks system. And so there's a lot of sprint out, roll out, read option, fake passing. Brilliant design. One of my favorite offenses to watch. Mike Shanahan And Jay Gruden could have copied that offense for RG3. They did not. So what you were seeing in terms of Kirk Cousins' success really only ratifies my point. It does nothing to damage it. And so I know I do not take back what I said in my previous videos.